Am I live? It just like jumped into it. Okay, well, if y'all are here to see about the Vacuform stuff, then sweet. I'm gonna go ahead and do a demo first, and then we'll go through and I'll explain how to make one. It's pretty easy. Okay, so solo plates, plastic plates. These are not foam, these are not paper. You can use a hair dryer, but I'm using a heat gun to speed things up. Since I only have two hands, or one hand and one mitt claw thing, I'm going to hit the vacuum, so it's going to get super loud. So you might want to turn down your speakers, because the vacuum's going to run while I'm heating this up, and then I'll suck it down. So just be patient. Here we oh, you can't even see. There we go. Okay, here we go. Blammo! So that one did okay. Bloop. You can see that it sucked down all nice. Now, the thing with this whole process being, you know, like with solo plates and like a heat gun, is that it's not super like controllable. Like, so I'm trying to heat the plate up until it's pretty flexible, and like you can see the dimple where the air is blowing on it, and then I just drop it down as quickly as I can before the plate cools off, and it, you know, shoop, pulls really tight around whatever you have on the box. So yeah, that, I mean, it turned out pretty good. It's definitely not like perfect, but you know, for what I'm working with, I feel like that's pretty good. So yeah, that's a thing. Some other examples of what I've done. This one is pliers. I don't know where the actual pliers are, but that worked pretty well. I don't know why you'd want to Vacuform pliers, but that's something that you can do. Of course, the Whoop canopy turns out phenomenal. That comes out really good. If you're into, you know, quads, I don't know why you'd want to take a carbon fiber frame and Vacuform it. Maybe you're making a case, or you're trying to do like something that, I don't know. It's just cool to be able to form plastic around objects. This is one that I did. I heated the plastic up a lot, and it got really thin because I knew that this had a lot of contours. And it's kind of amazing. This is a testament to how well it can work, and then also what not to do. So you can see here, it Vacuformed the crap out of this camera, because I was thinking, oh, this camera doesn't really have any good mounting points. What if I wanted to mount it in something? I could Vacuform like a case around it, and then mount that case, and then pop the camera in. It would fit really well. But I just heated the plastic up too much, and it, like, seriously, it just almost like shrink wrapped that camera. I'm gonna have to like cut it out. It's totally got eaten by the plastic, which is cool, but definitely not ideal. Oh, someone's calling me. That's not good. Trent, stop calling me. Okay, so now let's take a look at the actual box and what I'm doing to make the Vacuform happen. So if we just tilt this back down. All right, so like I was saying, I'm using plastic solo plates. You can use, I think, really any plastic that's been formed. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I just know that these work. I'm excited to try some different stuff and maybe even get some actual Vacuform like ABS or plastic, because I imagine that's gonna work better. And then I'm just using a super cheapo Harbor Freight heat gun. I think you can use probably a hair dryer. It just might take longer, but that's what that is. And then let's do this. Doop, 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 doop. I'm gonna spin the camera around so you can see. So we've got a box I 3D printed this bracket. Y'all can watch the video on that corner maybe with the tag. And I just basically have it where it plugs in, all fancy like. If I can do this one-handed. And so I'm getting vacuum through a Dyson, blammo. Super simple concept. I'll take the box apart to show you, I guess, the inside of it. It's really nothing special, but I'm sure someone is curious. And I did learn a few things while we were making this. We tried a couple different types of lids to try to figure out the best way to get the vacuum pulled down. See, it literally is just a box. I think this is like maybe 2 inches deep. And I think it's like 6 inches by 6 inches. And then this is just pegboard. Like, you can go get this stuff anywhere. And so this is, okay, a good lesson learned from me. Oh, I'm just breaking stuff. This is the same pegboard as this. And when we first tried it, we tried just taking pegboard, bolting it down, and it worked pretty good. And I was like, okay, well, surely we can optimize this. Let's figure out, let's think this through. Let's engineer it. And by engineer, I mean overthink it and mess things up. And what we ended up doing was taking a router and routing out like maybe like a 1/16 of an inch deep, like parallel lines through all the holes. And because I was thinking maybe that would help, you know, pull suction. I don't know. It made sense in my head when we did it. That actually was terrible. So don't do any type of like passageways, or at least that for us, for our results, that did not work near as well. And then I was like, okay, well maybe we can route, because the backside is porous, and if you pull a vacuum on this entire surface area and you get rid of this white coating, it'll pull vacuum through the entire surface, not just through the holes. And so then we routed, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, this 4x4 section of holes, like here, we routed all this out. And so that it was, again, like there was the material, but just the white finish was gone. And I was thinking, okay, well, it'll pull vacuum better. And that was just terrible. That was like the worst thing that we tried. And the best thing that we found so far is just drilling some smaller holes in a small square in the center. And that seems to be working really well. So if you want to do one, first off, this just straight up pegboard works great. I mean, that worked well the first time. If you want to get fancy and you want to maybe start pulling a little bit tighter of a, not necessarily a vacuum, but pulling the shrink wrap, or the plastic down tighter, you can put a couple more or a few more of these smaller holes in between. This is a, like I said, 6x6 box. And once you start getting to things like this big, like the tweezers, or not tweezers, this pliers, you start kind of running into like the limit of what you can vacuform. So you can't really vacuform anything big with this box. And I think it might be working really well because we have a small area and with the vacuum, so the vacuum is pretty powerful. But if you start making a bigger and bigger box, you're probably gonna lose as the suction that you have. I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking through this and talking out loud. I could be totally wrong. Hopefully someone will, in the comments, who's done this before, can drop some hardcore knowledge and we can all learn. But as far as what I've been playing with, those are kind of the things that I've thought of. Also, if you want the file for the adapter nozzle guy, this guy here, I have those files on my mini factory for free. You can download those and make your own box. I think that's kind of the hardest, for me, that was like the most difficult thing to making this, was trying to figure out a way to get the vacuum to securely mount into the box and pull a vacuum. But you can make this is plywood, and then we did like wood glue, and then we stapled it together with I think it was like 2-inch staples. So yeah, I mean, if you want to make one out of like a shoebox, I've seen some people do that. But this adapter, and you can see I just put wood screws through it, and it's pretty dang secure. So yeah, that's kind of the Vacuform box that we made, and some of the stuff that goes along with vacuforming. Hopefully that was insightful, and like I said, everyone should make a Vacuform box, even if it's like a weekend project. It's really cool. It's a fun little project to do, and it's super easy. So yeah, I hope this was insightful. I hope you learned something, and I will see you next time. Oh wait, comments. Hold on. Toasters are another. Okay, so IJ20 Man says toasters are another good way of heating the plastic oven ones. Okay, yeah, and so that's goes back to the controllability or the lack of controllability with a heat gun. Is that I'm just kind of like, I think that looks good. But if you have like a toaster element, and that's what we've been thinking about doing, is maybe mounting a toaster element up top with a timer, so you can set, okay, I want it on for this long, and then you have a very accurate way of controlling heat to the plastic, and then you can draw it down. I agree. I think that would be way better, but it's not as cheap and it's not as simple as what I'm doing, and that's what I'm going for. Some people are asking if it's going to be bigger. I think for me, really the big thing for me was I just wanted to Vacuform canopies for the tiny whoop. So, I mean, I think the size that I have now is good, but maybe we'll make one bigger. If we do make a bigger one, we'll definitely do a video. Okay, that's it for the comments, and I will see you next time.